Welcome to the Professional Edge. My name's Sean Todd, tax attorney, CPA, and certified financial planner. We're continuing on with our retirement flight. And again, contributing to this is a co-worker who was a pilot. Pretty amazing, his background and story. And he works with estate management counselors. And sort of this show goes out to him. Retirement flight. When you are a pilot, you have your pre-flight checklist, and then during the flight, we have our plan. And when you, as a listener here on the Professional Edge, are planning for your safe and secure retirement, again, you're the pilot. You are in control. There's no one else responsible for your safe and secure retirement except for yourself. And that's where you need to stay in constant contact with a control tower. And that is a registered investment advisor that has a fiduciary duty to act in your best interest. And that's what we do at Estate Management Counselors. We assist and provide professional counsel and advice to our clients. There is no churning of accounts. All the transactions, we don't get paid on commission. We get paid on a fee basis. So the only thing that we provide to our clients is professional counsel and advice. So in this in-flight, as we continue on with our retirement flight, we adjust things, we monitor and make sure that you are on track. And again, being the control tower throughout this flight, getting you ready to get to your retirement destination, there might be an adjustment which is needed. Think about this in the 07 to 09 debacle in the real estate. Well, as an investor, we need to adjust things as we meet them on a macroeconomic basis. And do we need to jump out? Well, the market went down by close to 60%. And yes, that tested your resolve as an investor trying to get from point A to point B from your working years to that safe and secure retirement. And then things turned around and went up, and the Fed basically kept interest at nearly zero for a very long time. And then in 2022, wow, look what happened. The Fed decided to adjust rates at an unprecedented rate. And in 2022, the markets went down by 20%, NASDAQ by 30%, and the bond portfolio actually went down by 10%. There was no place to hide except for cash, and nobody was in cash because the interest rate was so low to begin with. But now cash is paying about 5%, so you say, I'm going to take this risk-adjusted return and take the risk off and just hold cash. Well, that may make financial sense as we are in flight getting ready to get to our destination. So again, if you've not made this allocation or you moved a substantial portion of your 401k to cash during the downturn in 2022 because you're scared you're getting close to retirement, let's say you're a year and a half out, and you just moved everything to a stable value fund so you didn't lose any money. Well, when are you getting back in? What's the plan? Let's not react emotional to headlines, but let's have a real financial plan. And being a listener here on the Professional Edge, we come across individuals, and I would say close to 95%. Again, 95% of the people we meet with have never done an actual analysis of them being on track for retirement. So you being a listener here on the Professional Edge, you're the pilot of your retirement flight. And pilots don't take off without a plan. So therefore, you being employed, trying to get towards that safe and secure retirement, or if you are retired, you're on flight, you're in your retirement flight, you are going there. So let's sort of divert and get the plan to make sure you are on track for that safe and secure retirement, that you are going to be able to afford retirement. Meaning, what is your after-tax spendable amount, and is your portfolio going to be sustainable over this sequence of return risk? So if we started retirement at the beginning of 2022, boom, magically, let's say you're invested in S&P, your $1 million retirement portfolio is down to $800,000 immediately. So do you bail out and land the plane? The answer is no, because you're going to have 20 plus years in retirement. And yes, You are the first generation to have the burden for planning for 20 years in retirement. Just one generation ago, retirement was 65 and the life expectancy was about 72. So you only had to worry about 7 years of funding your retirement. Well, that has changed. In one generation, it's went from 7 years to north of 20 years. So the burden is on you as a listener here on the Professional Edge to make sure that you can fund a 20-year retirement. Well, you better have a plan for that, not just wing it. So during your flight, being in retirement, we got to make sure that you're not going to run out of money before you run out of time. And yes, that's where the software comes into play. We plug in to make sure you are maximizing your retirement, meaning which bucket do you actually take money from to fund your $5,000 a month budget, let's say. And with that funding, we also have to need to run the analysis, or you should be running the analysis during this flight of your retirement or getting ready to retire of when to elect Social Security, because it does matter. We've seen hundreds of thousands of dollars of difference between the election of Social Security, meaning should we elect at 62, 65, 66.6 years of age, or wait until the magic of 70 years of age? Well, a lot of individuals come in and say, I'm going to wait till age 70. That's what my buddy said at the McDonald's round table of financial planning. Well, guess what? That may or may not be true. And the only way you can really see what's true is run the numbers. And at estate management counselors, we do run the numbers, and then we say, you know what? Surprisingly, you should elect Social Security at age 62. And here's why. Here's the numbers. Here's the way it works. And that is always surprising to us, because a lot of individuals say, well, I'm going to get a lot more in retirement at age 70. Yeah, that is a true fact. But the opportunity cost of not receiving those cash flows before the age of 70, because you deferred that election, is a compounding effect. How many years is it going to take you to break even? Well, we run that analysis for our clients at estate management counselors. So if you've not done that, which about 99% of our listeners here on the Professional Edge have not made that calculation, which is very unfortunate, you may be leaving hundreds of thousands of dollars on the table. So that's my sort of wake-up call to you as a listener here on the Professional Edge. Go ahead and contact our office at 877-654-9798. That number again, 877-654-9798, to do that analysis. So think about this. Wow, if I could show you that you could have an extra couple $100,000 in retirement, or those assets would be going back to your heirs, meaning your children or even grandchildren. Let's take $200,000 that you're going to have or projected to have, and let's just fund the grandchildren's education accounts with that extra money that is found money. You didn't have to work any harder. You just had to make the right financial election with respect to your Social Security. So this is during your planning for your retirement. You're the pilot of this program, and that's what we're concentrating on this podcast or this radio show. It's both. So your retirement flight, what does it look like? So now we're going to turn back, and storm comes in on the radar. Back to control tower. Control tower, do you see the big storm ahead of us? What do we need to do? Well, control tower is not emotional. They're trying to keep the pilot on that safe and secure track. So you know what? We're going to vector and go west and let that storm go from the west to the east. And therefore, we're going to divert. We're not going to land the plane. We're going to just continue on. We need to modify. And that is the same example of changing in economic conditions. The Fed raised rates at an unprecedented rate in 2022. We just had a pause at this last meeting of the Fed because the inflation numbers are tempering. So now what do you do in your investment portfolio if you're A, in retirement, or B, trying to get to retirement in those next couple of years? Well, there are adjustments to be made, and that is monitoring your investment portfolio. And that's what we do at estate management counselors. We help our clients. We give them professional counsel and advice. We're not paid on commission. If our client wins, we win. So we have a very vested interest in getting our client from point A to point B that's safe and secure retirement. If that's not the level of advice, or if you're trying to manage it yourself, you're flying the plane, not in contact with the control tower. You're winging it and you're trying to get there. Well, you know what? If you have that older plane and you don't have radar, you're going to hit some storm clouds, and then you're going to have to react, and that is basically reacting to emotional headlines. No real plan. You're just reacting immediately. Wow, I need to divert, land the plane. What are we going to do? You're just reacting emotionally. But if you're working with an independent financial advisor who is a registered investment advisor, which means they have a fiduciary duty to act in your best interest, that's what we do at Estate Management Counselors. And that is the wake-up call for your retirement flight. Be in control of the flight, but be in constant contact with the control tower, a registered investment advisor. So again, to engage the tower, your checkpoint, give our office a call at 877-654-9798. That number again, 877-654-9798. Be sure to look at our offer to our listeners here on the Professional Edge as well. It's EMC, Echo Mary Charlie, thebundle.com. It's a great opportunity for you to take advantage of getting your estate plan done, your retirement analysis, and an income tax analysis. Being a tax attorney, a CPA, and a certified financial planner, we put those three things together. They are essential elements. And if you're not receiving tax advice from a licensed professional who is licensed to give you tax advice as part of your retirement planning and your investment portfolio, think about this, that 1-800 number that you're holding, a brokerage firm, if I've said some names, you would recognize them. They're not licensed to give you tax advice. So think about this. Any financial decision that you make involves taxes. So why are you not receiving that level of counsel and advice to receive licensed tax advice when you make a financial decision? That alone would be the impetus for you to give us a call at 877-654-9798. That number again, 877-654-9798. I appreciate you listening to Professional Edge. We have more coming up here on your retirement flight.
With today's financial markets, are you getting the personal and professional attention you and your money deserve? Clients of estate management counselors benefit from having one set of professionals advise them on their tax, estate planning, and investment advice. We call that the Professional Edge. Sean Todd is a tax attorney, CPA, and certified financial planner. With over 15 years' experience, he welcomes the opportunity to assist you in preparing for retirement, implement effective tax planning strategies, and to help you properly plan your estate. His radio show, The Professional Edge, is aired weekly on Sundays at 9 a.m. If you're interested in meeting with Sean, call his office at 877-654-9798. That's 877-654-9798. Do you want to feel more confident about making the right investment, tax, and estate planning decisions? Today, these decisions are more complex than ever. Have you thought about working with a professional advisor and not sure who to turn to? Not sure what qualifies one to be an advisor? Sean Todd is more than qualified as a tax attorney, CPA, and certified financial planner. Sean is with Estate Management Counselors. Estate Management Counselors operates as an independent fee-only investment advisory firm. They're dedicated to gaining a personal understanding of their clients' objectives and implementing professional counsel and advice to achieve those objectives. So take a second to talk with Sean Todd to learn how you can benefit from their multidisciplinary practice where they coordinate their clients' legal, tax, and investment strategies into one comprehensive and integrated plan to enhance and protect their clients' financial security. You can reach Estate Management Counselors and speak with Sean Todd by calling 1-877-654-9798. That's 1-877-654-9798.